Not being a big fan of musicals, I feel I've gained a greater respect and appreciation for the genre as a result of watching the Oscar Best Picture and not to mention Best Actor and Best Director winning performance of Audrey Hepburn and Rex Harrison in My Fair Lady. The movie's storyline and smooth integration of music and dance into the narrative make it an easy story to follow and enjoyable and even exciting to watch. Though the film came out during the time when musicals were losing their popularity in the 1960s and hadn't done well at the box office, it is easy to see why My Fair Lady won Best Picture and has so much appeal to audiences. This movie's storyline stands on its own, with a plot that holds your attention from beginning to end of this nearly 3-hour film, yet the musical component only adds to the excitement, drama, and suspense of the plot. Not to mention the performances of main characters Eliza Doolittle, Hepburn, and Professor Higgins, Harrison, which give the story the weight and stability it needs to hold the audience's attention. Mr. Higgins, a professional phonetics teacher and professor, by chance finds a young lady in the open square in an English town while taking notes randomly of varying classes of society in their speech. Eliza, a lowly poor flower girl, not ashamed of her status, yet with poor speaking habits and a deep drawl, lower class dialect by Higgins' standards, whom he repeatedly throughout the movie calls a wretched gutter snipe, becomes his subject and object of a bet with Colonel Pickering, whom he meets at the same time and place as Eliza, and makes a bet he can turn her into a lady in 6 months. However, he passes her over and leaves. Eliza, who dreams of being a lady, takes it upon herself to seek out Mr. Higgins, where she visits his office and home where he conducts his work. After much rejection of her, and sensing her determination to obtain his help, he accepts the project and trains her up with the help of Colonel Pickering and his maids for 6 months. Higgins performs tests taking her out in public to mingle with the upper classes where she fares well. Yet at the end of the 6 months, both discover they are unable to move back to their original lives without each other, and the narrative is resolved at the end with Professor Higgins asking Eliza, "Where are my slippers?" There are many instances of song and dance in My Fair Lady that make it a conventional musical. The heart of the musical lies in its music and the characters who sing and dance to it. One particularly sunny and chirpy example of this is when Eliza gets her breakthrough. After months of rigorous training and tiresome Mr. Higgins, the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain, Eliza's crossroads moment. Her epiphany comes after a brief but genuine and intense coaching session that she came here to learn to become a lady. Upon the breakthrough comes a song and dance bit based on the line, and Eliza, Higgins, and Pickering all dance and sing to it. This moment leaves Eliza on a high, sending her to bed in sheer ecstasy and contentment. The director seems to adhere to the overall integrity of the genre in this instance and integrates the musical spectacle in this scene virtually seamlessly. For you can almost imagine them bursting into song and dance naturally if the story were real, aside from the fact they already know the words and the music is playing in the background. There is much transformation of space involving the use of props and audience. Props are placed to create a realistic atmosphere. Characters relate to one another in terms of performer or co-performers and audience. Passers-by on the street stop, watch, and listen, acknowledging the performance. Such instances occur in My Fair Lady, when Eliza places a book on her head while singing in the presence of her maids. The street lamp is lit in the background while gentleman sings. Eliza's father drinks beer and dances while singing amongst his town's members who join in with him. There is an overall commitment of the director to adhere to the conventions of the genre, weaving narrative and musical components together with maturity and nobility. This maintains the attention-holding quality of the disturbance equilibrium formula of the narrative, entertaining the spirit of the musical, giving My Fair Lady the ability to win the Oscar for Best Picture as it did. If you were inspired by this article and want to start your own business, you can get more information about one of the best home-based business opportunities available. You can opt in to my webpage or check out my homepage. Thank you.